I have a couple days worth of events to transcribe for you all, none of which were enough to make into their own posts, but interesting enough to mention. That is up until the last event occurred. January 22nd, 2020, 6 a.m. Sniffler stopped barking, finally, so I decided to bring it to work with me today. Put the paw in my cup holder for safe travel. 7 a.m. For some reason when I got to work, my set of work keys, which is literally just a pair of room keys because all of the rooms have the same lock, we just pretend that they don't, were covered in some strange green film. I wiped them off with some napkins. 8 a.m. The green film is back at concerning levels. 10 a.m. An old man who was wearing 7 pairs of sunglasses came by and got a room. He harassed Joshua at the snack bar for a bit before going back to his room. 1:30 p.m. The old guy just started screaming. I don't know why. Lucy came to talk to me in the screen panel, and according to her, he's just sitting there in a chair screaming. 5 p.m. The old man just stopped screaming, and according to my ghost informant, is just staring at a wall. But he's not my problem anymore. Time to clock off. Sorry, Martina. January 23rd, 2020. 10:30 a.m. The old man left today without saying a word. He just put the key on the front desk and walked away. 12 p.m. I went to clean his room and I found that all the light bulbs from the lamp and overhead lights were gone. I marked the room as in need of repairs, so no one could stay in it. But then I got curious. When the old guy left, he was only wearing a t-shirt and jeans, so I'm pretty sure I would be able to notice the bulging bulbs in his pants. I went to check some of the other rooms and found that they were similarly missing bulbs. Someone broke in here to steal our light bulbs? Along with being one of those oddly motivated crimes, I couldn't help but be impressed that someone managed to pull it off. I guess someone figured out how the keys work. I thought about emailing the police station, but decided that if someone is desperate enough to steal light bulbs, they probably needed it more than we do. Then I ended up spending the next 2 hours replacing the bulbs. 3 p.m. An older woman came and rented a room. She's in room 10. I don't know why I'm putting it down, I'm just bored. January 24th, 2020, 10 a.m. I thought I was going to die when a huge truck pulled off the road and parked right next to the front desk. A large man stepped out of the truck. And when I say large, it looked like he could lift 3 of me one-handed. He wore a black leather jacket and heavy army-style boots. He had a chain through the loops in his jeans, a knife that bordered on short sword was strapped to his waist. His eyes were a dark brown which complemented his full beard. A nasty scar sat on his left cheek. The closest I can compare him to is the leader of a biker gang. He looked around, scanning the area before walking over to the desk, his chains clanking with each heavy step of his boots. Even though there was a several-inch thick panel of bulletproof glass between us, I shrunk back as he approached. He smirked when he got up to the desk, cleared his throat and said, "Hey, how's it going?" I straightened up a little bit at this, completely caught unprepared for the possibility that he could just be a nice guy. I'm alright. What about yourself?" I asked back, a little hesitant. "Well, I was doing pretty good until my phone died. See, I'm heading to insert name of a town near my place of residence so no one finds out where I live, to see my grandma. But I forgot what exit to get off at, so I was hoping to get some directions." Hearing that the super scary biker guy, who didn't actually arrive on any type of bike now that I'm thinking about it, was just on his way to visit his grandmother instead of wanting to murder me, was incredibly calming to hear. "Oh, yeah, of course. You'll just want to head past this town," I pointed the direction of my little town, "and then get off 3 exits after that." He nodded at me. "Thanks, it's much appreciated." With that, he turned around and got back in his truck and drove off. 1 p.m. The biker came back. He flew down the road, coming back the way he had left, crossed through the lanes onto the wrong side of the road, and came to a screeching halt right next to the front desk, kicking up a huge cloud of dust as he did. He jumped out and started screaming at me. I'm not entirely sure what he was even saying. It just sounded like an assault of incoherent orangutan screeching at me. It's a lot like what I would imagine everyone on the internet combined together would sound like as a person. He marched up to the desk where I stood. I was leaning against the desk with my arms laying on to support myself. I heard the muffled barking of the sniffler from inside the desk drawer. "Hey again," I started. "How's it go—" He stabbed his huge knife through the little slit in the glass panel. I barely pulled my arms off the counter in time before getting skewered. "Whoa, dude, what the hell?" I yelled at him. This wasn't the first time someone had tried to stab me, but this one hurt because of how nice he was. His incoherent screaming continued as I surveyed the situation. That's when I noticed his scar looked like it was on the opposite He's now pulling out a gun. He shot the glass, putting a few cracks into it, with a loud, almost glass-shattering sound. I jumped a bit when he did this. I always forget just how loud it is when people shoot the glass, but I should be safe. Most people seem to completely forget that there's he's sticking the gun through the slit. I ducked under the desk, huddling up as bullets sailed overhead. I heard them hit and ricochet off the stairs and bricks of the building. "Get out here, you coward!" he screamed, for the first time making sense. And it was to hurt my feelings. And now you are all caught up to my current situation. I'm stuck under the desk while listening to what's essentially a human Rottweiler. I just sent out an email for help. To the police, of course. I have the business and personal email of some members of the force. And it's not like I'd email any of my coworkers in a life or death situation like this. So that's my situation right now. I'll update you all again when someone either comes to save me, or he breaks in. So hopefully I'll talk to you all again soon. With good news. Maybe.